Well, for the first time in many weeks, Dolton trustees and Mayor Tiffany Henyard held a public meeting together, but not at Village Hall.
South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard appears to have lost control of both governments.
In Dolton, Illinois, Mayor Tiffany Henyard is at the center of a storm. A public meeting spirals into chaos as she demands $619 from Trustee Tammy Brown, creating a spectacle in a gold blazer. But this isn't just about the money. Tiffany accuses her fellow trustees of mismanaging funds, extravagant spending, and using police for personal agendas. With rumors of an FBI investigation and an eviction looming, Tiffany's grip on power is slipping. Will she survive the mounting pressure, or is this the end of her controversial reign? Stay tuned, because the drama is just heating up. Hey guys, I am Olivia. Welcome to Red Rumbles, where the drama never stops and the stories always leave you on the edge of your seat. Today, we're talking about the explosive showdown in Dolton, Illinois, where Mayor Tiffany Henyard's latest public meeting sparked chaos and controversy. From a solid gold blazer to a heated battle over $619, you won't believe the drama that went down. Was it a desperate move for money? Or is something bigger going on behind the scenes? Stick around because we're about to break it all down. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the wild, headline-making moments we cover. Let's jump in. In Dolton, Illinois, tension has been mounting for months, and the recent village trustee meeting might just be the peak. When Mayor Tiffany Henyard showed up dressed in a solid gold blazer, it wasn't her outfit alone that turned heads. Henyard wasn't there to discuss policy or address the town's issues. No, she had a more personal agenda, recovering exactly $619 from Trustee Tammy Brown. And Henyard wasn't subtle, she declared. "I want my money back," a demand that rang through the room and set the tone for a turbulent meeting.
You are a clown. We will continue to speak out against wrongdoing. Why won't you step down?
You might wonder, what's so critical about this $619? According to Henyard, this sum was her rightful reimbursement for funds meant to come out of a training budget. She claims there's a $10,000 allocation for trustee training, but somehow the $619 she says was due to her hadn't been dispersed. In the public's eye, this demand felt strange, almost petty, but Henyard kept bringing it up as if the village's future hinged on those dollars. What made this situation even more intense was Henyard's comparison of her $619 to the tens of thousands spent elsewhere. She held this meeting captive, emphasizing every penny and holding her ground as if the trustees themselves were on trial. Henyard's choice of attire, a striking, solid gold blazer, was as bold as her demands. Dolton's residents were stunned, some even amused, at the spectacle of a local government official dressed for what looked more like a Hollywood red carpet than a village board meeting. For a moment, it felt as though the focus shifted from the $619 to Henyard's dramatic presentation. But her look was all part of the show. It reinforced the sense that this meeting wasn't just business, it was personal. According to Henyard, the trustees had been dipping into the village's training fund for personal gain. She alleged that money meant for educational and professional development had been used on everything but that, leaving her with nothing. The accusations raised by Henyard weren't just about the missing $619. She claimed thousands were being misused by the trustees, painting a picture of a government with misplaced priorities. To Henyard, her missing $619 symbolized a larger issue, one she intended to spotlight. The question was, were her claims valid, or was she creating a distraction? This left many Dolton residents wondering if the $10,000 training budget had ever been used effectively, or if Henyard was merely trying to deflect criticism from her own controversial actions. As the meeting dragged on, Henyard unveiled a receipt for $136,500 in legal expenses, alluding to the village's excessive spending on a hired attorney.
Also new tonight, Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is suing some village trustees over Monday's meeting.
She contrasted this staggering amount with her demand for $619, accusing the trustees of throwing money around carelessly while she faced financial resistance for a small reimbursement. The contrast highlighted Henyard's perception that her claims were justified. According to her, the lawyer's fees were just one part of a financial misuse problem, and Dalton's leadership was failing to prioritize essential spending. Henyard aimed to expose the trustees' spending, but her critics saw her actions as grandstanding. Adding fuel to the fire, Henyard faced a personal scandal that complicated her claims of financial integrity. Allegedly, Henyard and her boyfriend were behind on rent for their Dalton home, leading her landlord, Janetta Hull, to file for eviction.
A Dalton home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now she wants her.
According to Hull, Henyard and her boyfriend hadn't paid rent since August, and attempts to serve eviction papers had been unsuccessful. In a bizarre twist, Henyard reportedly changed the locks on the property to prevent Hull's access. This raised eyebrows as many asked how a public official, reportedly earning over $300,000 annually, could face eviction over unpaid rent. Hull, growing frustrated, even attended the trustee meeting in hopes of confronting Henyard directly. As Henyard's issues at the village level continued to escalate, another bombshell emerged. She was reportedly under federal investigation.
I'm a private investigator. I've got some books that sit on here. Inside I have from the United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois.
Allegations surfaced that Henyard had used taxpayer dollars for personal expenditures. Reports suggested she splurged on luxury travel, expensive meals, and even racked up $43,000 on Amazon in a single day. If true, these allegations could lead to criminal charges, intensifying the scrutiny she already faced. Rumors of lavish spending only fueled public dissatisfaction. Some residents labeled her one of the worst mayors in America, claiming her leadership had led Dalton down a path of waste and neglect. But Henyard dismissed these accusations, insisting they were politically motivated. Dalton's residents, meanwhile, didn't hesitate to voice their opinions. They called out Henyard for prioritizing her reimbursement demand, while the village's finances continued to falter. One resident's comment struck a nerve. Employees sitting around on the clock with nothing to do is another reason they're broke. Cut labor and send people home. Another pointed to the irony of Henyard's $619 demand, reminding her of rumors surrounding nearly $500,000 reportedly spent on her mother's driveway. Public sentiment in Dalton had turned sour, and Henyard was feeling the heat. Some demanded that she step down, while others criticized her priorities. And yet, amidst this public outcry, Henyard announced her intention to run for re-election, undeterred by the storm of opposition. During the meeting, Henyard shifted her focus from her reimbursement demands to a broader critique of Dalton's governance. She accused the trustees of misusing their power, claiming they had ordered police officers to follow and intimidate their political adversaries. Henyard's allegations hinted at a government tainted by corruption, where trustees allegedly used the police to settle personal scores. Her statements raised questions about law enforcement's role in Dalton's political landscape. Henyard's critics, however, saw her claims as an attempt to divert attention from her own legal and financial troubles. Henyard didn't stop at criticizing the trustees' financial habits. She pointed to extravagant events that she claimed drained Dalton's resources. She specifically referenced the village's Valentine's Day celebration, which allegedly cost thousands of dollars in police overtime. According to Henyard, officers were redirected from their usual duties to provide security for this event, which some argued was unnecessary. The Valentine's Day party, Henyard argued, represented a pattern of wasteful spending, with trustees allegedly prioritizing festivities over the village's basic needs. In her eyes, these funds could have been better allocated to essential services. Her remarks brought to light the financial strain Dolton faced, even as public officials continued with costly events. As Henyard continued her criticism, she promised to implement change. She announced plans to bring in independent auditors to comb through the village's finances, vowing to expose any wrongdoing. Her promise of transparency was directed at her opponents, whom she accused of hiding financial mismanagement. Henyard's supporters saw this as a sign of commitment, but her opponents were skeptical, seeing it as little more than political theater. With Henyard at the center of so much controversy, her pledge to reform Dolton's finances was met with mixed reactions, leaving many uncertain about her true intentions. Despite the numerous allegations, Henyard showed no sign of backing down. In fact, she announced her bid for re-election, setting the stage for a high-stakes battle. She promised to press charges against her opponents, implying that she had evidence of their wrongdoings. Her re-election announcement struck a nerve, especially among residents who had grown weary of her leadership. Many saw it as a last-ditch effort to cling to power, while others believed she genuinely sought to bring positive change. Henyard's polarizing image was only cemented further as she prepared for what would likely be a turbulent campaign. Dolton's future now hinges on what unfolds in the coming months. With Henyard's re-election campaign underway and her promise to uncover corruption, Dolton faces a period of uncertainty. Whether Henyard's accusations will hold up or backfire remains to be seen, and her ability to sway public opinion will be critical. Dolton's residents, divided as ever, must decide if Henyard deserves another term or if it's time for new leadership. So what do you think? Are Mayor Tiffany Henyard's actions justified, or is there more going on beneath the surface? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Stay tuned here on Red Rumbles for more updates as Dolton's political drama continues to unfold. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.